I did talk. And
Yeah, no, she must be able to control it and keep them simple.
right.
So if I'm on the road, she takes.
Oh, you can play with it.
Yeah, and then.
My
numbers goes in, they'll be able to take care of
Probably was that, so you really, I'm sorry.
manage it for, you know, people renting it.
We should take care of it, so she couldn't find this, I think we contacted Tina to get it.
She's savvy, I haven't.
Did Nicole reach out? Yeah, yeah,
He likes that.
so I emailed it over
Just
to her as the same
today.
crowd. Did you not get it either? No, it's misnumbered.
Yeah, I don't know any-
That's what she was going through. I put this together for me.
The name, yeah, the number had been,
Time you mail them down.
because it was determined it was a
Yeah,
previous
but
PV.
Take your phone.
So the number went back to the old one.
Oh, cold on there right now.
Every month I look for it, I'm like.
Ready?
I'd like to call the meeting to order for the Town of Horseheads Planning Board for January 3rd, 2024. I guess our first order of business is, or let's see, is, I guess you gotta make sure everybody's here, right? Okay, I guess we're just one minus, okay. I guess our first order of business is a motion to accept the minutes from the December 6th meeting.
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes. Second.
Call the roll.
Amy Crandall, Angela Hawken.
Aye.
Al Curran,
Aye.
Matt Mustico.
Aye.
Ken Castro.
Aye.
Joe Atkinson.
Aye. Next order of business, we don't have any correspondence. So under old business, do we wanna,
We just gotta let them know, we put them on late, we just gotta let them know that they just gotta get their final development plan in. Just to show us inside where the fitness center is gonna be and if they're gonna retain the professional offices where they are, so.
okay. So next up is item 898A, Renova Solar on behalf of Chemung Supply Corporation, 61 Fowler Road, 496 kilowatt ground mounted solar array.
So we're just waiting, you just wait till next month for that. It'll be back here, the town board is doing next week, the public hearing and, yeah. So then it will come back here at that point in time.
Okay, item C, number 443A, Crickler Management. I guess the letters didn't go out in time for the public hearing, so we have to repost the public hearing for next month on the 7th.
We just have to amend that resolution and recall the public hearing for next month's meeting, 7 p.m. When is the meeting?
It is the second.
It's 7th.
The 7th?
So do we need to amend that resolution?
Yeah,
Somebody want to make a motion to amend the resolution to postpone the public hearing from Crickler for tonight until the 7th of February?
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Amy Crandall, Angela Hawken.
Aye.
Al Curran.
Aye.
Ken Castro, Matt Mustico.
Aye.
Joe Atkinson.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, under new business, item number 607C, David Balch Construction, 352 East Franklin Street, Horsehead Site Plan Review. The addition of 10 by 103 3-foot building raised and also to raise the roof for taller doors.
that you guys? Yep.
So what we all have in front of us is the site plan.
Before we start, I gotta let since you're in motor vehicle repairs, we've amended our special permit procedure. With regard to that, across the town, we have many motor vehicle repair establishments. Sales establishments and stuff like that. None of them are existing lawfully, including yourself at this point in time. So what we are doing is we're not gonna go out and grab everybody because sooner or later, everybody comes through here. You just happen to be the first. Okay? So, what I'm gonna do, and don't worry about it, this thing will still proceed through, because we assume you're not gonna abandon it at that point in time. But we do want to take you through the other, the other procedure and get you approved with the new special permit. And, some of the things in here, there, most of them I think are all right anyway, not much has changed. So I'll give you this, but just so you know, you'll have to get a hold of Greg and make this application also. And then we can just push them all through at that point in time, so. But we'll deal with this at this point, so.
Okay, so before you have a site plan. Let's see, do we have to do another seeker for that?
You will have to do a seeker for it, and there will have to be, this has got to be referred to the county.
Yeah, that's the. Route 13.
Yeah,
Okay, do we have a,
Oh, however you.
Tina, do we have any blank seekers to?
We do.
well, we're not gonna take action. We can't take action until after the. So you guys can review it tonight, but then it's got to go to the county, and then we can finish it up next month.
Do seeker next month?
Yeah, you do the seeker, do the seeker before we.
What's a
Right.
secret?
It's State Environmental Quality Review Act is part of New York State. Everything we got has to have that, so. I don't know whether you've, have they put in
They did one.
okay, you did your part. Okay,
Yeah,
it'll be their part. To answer once we get to that point. But right now it'll be referred to the county planning board because you're on a state road, you're on a county road also. So that'll be referred, and then next month, they can finish it up. So they can review tonight and see if they need any more extra information or not.
It's not a public repair shop, it's for his own business repair on his own trucks.
Yeah,
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, doesn't matter. Now, the other, you guys can talk about that. The other issue is though. The special permit procedure, I can give you this now. And if you can get in here by early next week, Greg, you can help them with the special permit. I would assume. And we can get the letters that they have to send out
Okay,
to everybody. What I'm thinking is I'd ask the board now to call the public hearing for the special permit for the next meeting. You got some things you gotta do. One is to get an application in for that, and Greg can help you with that.
Okay.
The other is you gotta mail letters to everybody within, what, 200 feet or 500
Yeah.
feet.
I'll send you. the
10 days
information.
before, but that'll be a packet that you send out. No big deal there. Then these two things can happen all at once.
Letters within how many feet of what?
It's 200 feet, the owner's within 200 feet, or I don't know if it's 200 or
It's
500,
gonna be 500.
500
County
feet.
road.
So you gotta mail to people who live, who own property within 500 feet.
So he's gotta mail one to himself out front at this salon. Okay.
Well, he's,
Registration.
the property owner is the applicant,
Sure,
okay?
he's right here.
So anybody else who's around
Yeah, there's no other.
500 feet outside.
store properties.
So you'll have like all the properties on Eastview,
13 is.
yeah.
Eastview
Hey,
Drive,
John, why do they need special permit?
not from the business, not from the business,
Because they're
from the
doing
property.
their sales and stuff.
They said no.
And no, they're repair establishments, motor vehicle sales, repair and service
Across the street,
establishments,
next door.
and they're motor vehicles, so. So we'll get them approved. I'll give you that, you can, I don't know if you have an attorney, you can get that, to him, so I can tell you how it's gotta be done.
Well, in order to.
Otherwise, you would talk to Greg and he'll get the application done.
500 feet.
We can make a resolution to refer both the both the special permit request and the site plan review to the county planning board. The only issue is we gotta get their application to send it down there.
Right, right, okay.
Yeah.
So the resolution will be for both. Special
Yeah.
permit and.
Yeah.
Do we have a motion for that resolution?
I'll make the motion. Whatever.
We have a second?
I'll second it.
So
Yeah.
if we want to take some time and look over the site plan for a couple of minutes and see if there's any other information we think we might need. I didn't see anything when I reviewed it.
Yeah.
The only question I have is, and I know it's in addition to a building that's already existing, but within a floodplain.
But he's still on, that's, you gotta appreciate that.
Building within a floodplain,
Is it, well, that's true. Greg? Floodplain issues?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
can't hear you, Greg.
Can't hear you, Greg.
All right, hold on.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I'm here. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so we looked at that. And I believe we checked out the value of the property. And if the cost of the addition is less than 50% of the value of the property, then they do not have to abide by the floodplain rules and regulations for new construction. So they can add on to what they have as long as that price is less than 50%. And I think we did a little math with, I did a little math with Dave, who I thought I heard him. He might be in the audience there. And I think he was gonna be able to be under that number.
So we're all right then.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's not floodway, it's just floodplain, right?
Just floodplain, yep, not floodway.
All right. Thanks.
So anybody have any other questions or? Oh, first of all, we gotta vote on that resolution, right?
Right.
Oh, I thought that's what we did.
Oh, no, we just did the motion and second. Vote.
Motion is second, we didn't vote it.
No, she called, you called.
No.
No.
Call the roll.
Okay. Amy Crandall, Angela Hawken. Ken Castro, Matt Mustico,
Aye.
Al Curran, Joe Anderson.
Aye. So I guess if anybody else has anything else they wanna discuss or bring up about the site plan? I guess then you're done for tonight.
And I'll send you all.
Tina will take care of putting your package together and stuff. For getting ready for the public hearing next month.
John, again.
Public hearing on it here next
Is
month.
it?
What did you say about the county?
Yeah.
The county, it has to be referred to the county because you're within so many feet of the county road.
Oh, is there such thing as it being approved by the state too? It's a state road too.
We don't have to do anything with the state because he's on Route 13. Well, your access is off the county road,
Right.
Yeah.
so it's the county road.
It's county.
The only thing that has to be done is the state has to technically be notified that you're doing something like that. And they'll do that through when they send this out.
Through the county.
Well, it'll go to, our minutes go to the state. And that's their notification that something's happening on their road. Or near their road,
All right,
Not anything you'll have to do.
all right.
just send out the letters.
I'll go meet with Greg this week and make sure that paperwork's taken care of for the county.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah, and I'll send you the packet for the public hearing. You're Steve, right? You're Steve, okay. I'll send it to you. Okay? And I'll explain everything in the letter.
See me next month.
We'll see you next.
We'll see you next
We'll
month.
see you next month.
We're free to go.
You are free to go.
Okay. Item 416B. Best Buds Dispensary Incorporated, 2420 Corning Road, Horseheads, special permit. Referred from the town board for the operation of a New York State licensed retail dispensary for adult use of marijuana products.
Okay, just preliminarily, principles of this business are Musticos. That Mustico is gonna be different than this Mustico, because he has no interest or financial interest in it. I have no financial interest in it, but I share an office building with, this is Sean Hanrahan here, who is a Mustico for all intents purposes.
Married, but you're married when Kennedy.
Yeah, Lisa, but so I am gonna to step out as having a conflict. And let the board discuss this without me here. And as I said, Matt does not have the same issue that I have, because he hasn't worked with them or done anything with them at that point in time. So I will be out here somewhere and hopefully
Okay.
call me when you need.
We should be done in a little while. Okay, so basically, they've applied for a special use permit. They're looking for a recommendation, a positive or a negative recommendation back to the town board before they grant the permit. So we have the application in front of us. And basically, what we're looking for is a recommendation for or against the application as it's applied for in the paperwork that you got. Is there any discussion before any questions before we make any motions? Yes, sir.
Am I allowed to speak? I just want to make everybody aware that our corporation name is Best Buds Dispensary Inc. We have no affiliation with whatever Best Buds is not operating illegally. Or legally, I should say, not operating legally in Horseheads currently or advertising or anything like that. In fact, we may not even call our store, if approved, Best Buds. That is just our corporate name. I just wanted to put that out there in case anybody had any kind of confusion with that.
Where is this? Where is 2420?
It is, not Sunnyside Parkway,
It's on
Morning
Miracle
Road,
Mile.
but Miracle Mile, sorry, Miracle Mile. Well, I know it as Miracle.
Next to the bowling alley.
Correct, it
Oh,
is,
The Schmung
it
Supply
is the
Building.
newer edition of the southern side of Chemung Supply.
Okay, gotcha.
Does anybody have any questions or anything before we decide to make a motion here, and then we can further the discussion? Well, can I have a motion either for or against the application? Any question?
Make a motion for the application.
Do you need a second?
I'll second it.
Here we go. Okay, are there any other questions or discussion, anything that, most everything, that questions that we might have, like signage and hours of operation, that's all covered by state law. The only way the town can do anything about, extending times of operation or affecting the times of operation has to be done by local law, so that would then be out of our hands and go to the town board. So basically, we just have to say whether or not we have a motion on the floor to go ahead and give a good or a positive recommendation to the town board for their meeting next week. Anybody have any other discussion?
What would your hours of operation be and all that type of thing? Or what are you asking for? I should say.
We're not quite sure yet. It is already statutorily regulated. I believe there are limitations on all retail dispensaries in the sense that you cannot operate 7 days a week. You have to, the max of 6, and I believe it is a max of 80 hours per week. You cannot go further. Now, I've looked locally at other businesses that operate currently on the Miracle Mile. And there's only 2 that operate past 7 PM. We haven't looked at our operating hours yet, but I know I wouldn't want to operate past 10. The other operations are Arby's, which operates till 12 AM, and Burn Dairy, which is 24 hours. I'm not even set on 10 yet, to be honest. Our application is fully filed. I think it's important to note that we're a women-owned business, so Lisa Musko's our 51% shareholder, so that opened us up to some great opportunity. We filed under special application SE unique requirements, which are social equality and economic status. So we're in a very kind of pole position spot. There's a lot of good tax benefits to local and state communities, and by our review and our own research and the teams we hired, we are not operating within any what we call illegal parameters. I know Heritage Park was a concern. That's 200 feet from the southern end of where we are, would be outside of that. BOCES still qualifies as a school. We're well beyond 500 feet of that. And then the only other concern you have to think of is other licensed operating dispensaries. To my knowledge, we're the only one sitting here and the only one at least licensed to operate here. And I don't think there's very many that are in other local municipalities either, from what I've learned. But once you have a licensed operation, depending on your municipality size, whether you are greater than 20,000 in your local community or less, depends on when or how another operation can open up. And I believe the town of Portage is less than 20,000 people. So if we are approved, and we're not approved yet, okay, we are fully qualified and submitted, nobody's been approved yet. But once that does happen, for the board recommendation, or just for your FYI, OCM itself will come down and put their stamp of approval on everything. Okay, we're already commercially zoned and we're in the parameters that qualifies us at filing. We filed our notice of municipality. Thank God I worked closely with John and he said you should get this special permit process kind of going because it can take a couple months. So I'm hoping by the time we are approved, we're kind of in that status where we're sitting in front of you ready to go. I did look on OCM before the meeting. Oh, and by the way, I printed you guys out. I have business plans, continuity plans. And just because it is kind of a taboo thing, it's nothing like you're seeing with these sticker shops, okay? Yes, the signage is regulated, things like that, but I believe, at least from what I've seen, these places are opening up more like spas, I think, in an adverse effect of this taboo kind of theory around it. So it's nothing like, candied lollipops, attracting kids or anything like that. It's more of kind of like a spa experience. So, but once, we're all set to go and approved by OCM, if we're approved, fingers crossed, and I can get Johnny anything, just so you know. So I was telling you, I went on OCM to see if I could actually download my application because I did have to provide site control, planning, vendor application, everything. Pretty much anything the regulations require. I couldn't download it from my NYBE portal, but I do have copies of everything that I will submit to John for you guys' review. And if you do want hard copies, I can do this for you tonight. So that's all I had. I feel like I talked too much already.
And the other thing is,
What's that?
Is it a cash business, all cash?
It is not. I thought it was, to be honest with you, because any financial institutions regarded by FDIC are subject to federal regulations, and any interstate commerce is subject to federal law. And cannabis to today is still a Schedule I illicit subject or illicit substance on the federal regulations. However, what is it, 12th Amendment federal or 10th Amendment federalism says states can make any laws that federal don't. So states that have approved it, everything has to be, and all the products we sell have to go through an entire process. There's a whole 6-part, 2-tier system on where it starts to it gets to us and to it gets to its final on the consumer. And we did apply for a delivery license as well, which doesn't require a type of zoning things, and that only kind of piggybacks on the retail dispensary license. But I will get you folks anything you need prior to our public hearing, should you approve.
So are you selling paraphernalia in there too? You'll be.
No, in fact, you're not really allowed to sell other things, other than, you can sell. Smoking paraphernalia, so you can sell glass pieces and things like that. I haven't really looked at I mean, anybody can sell that, that's not really gonna be my first thing I'm looking to do. I do think it's allowed, because I have visited, just research and development, other licensed dispensaries. There's one in Ithaca, there's two in the Binghamton area, and there is nothing in between.
Will you sell vape products in there too, or just?
Well, that's concentrated products, not vape in the sense like jeweled or anything like that. It is a concentrated, everything is still from that original flower. Trust me, my father-in-law, John's first cousin, Donald, I brought him to a licensed dispensary in Binghamton. And trust me, this guy, I don't think he's ever even smoked a cigarette. And he was fascinated, you know, he'll try anything anyway, as far as like, you know, an experience. He was more fascinated with the place than I was, because again, I think there is this taboo kind of surrounding, it's like prohibition. I mean, let's go back 100 years, you know what I mean? We're here again. And I think the only way that states kind of really get this to fly is to say, put money in everybody's pockets. So it's very lucrative for any municipality, and OCM has made a darn good job of making sure it is highly regulated. Just fun facts, 3% of all revenue, which if you look at my business plan, if you want it, projects at about 5 million annually. 3% goes specifically in proportion to the locality where the business is located. So 1% goes to the county. If there's other ones in the town of Horseheads, then our revenues would be proportionate to that. But if we're the only ones in town, first of all, the projections would be a lot higher than that. But if we are, you're the only locality that gets 3% of the 13% excise tax, and that is paid by the consumer, by the way, not by the business. So that is it. It's funny, actually. It's the first time I've ever been in somewhere where you see the final price. Not most marketing, and anybody who knows advertising, anything tries to market the lowest legal price you can, and then final result, you're usually surprised. Everywhere I've been actually shows the final price, because the taxes are so confusing. You still get the 4% locality divided, that's part of 8% sales tax. And this 13% excise tax, 9 of which goes to the state, 4 of which we're talking about, that's all added at the end. So another thing I wanted to add to, because I told you I talk too much. Once a legal dispensary opens, OCM within the last 12 years has been solely now in charge of enforcing, shutting down illegal operating sticker shops and things like that. Anywhere a licensed dispensary is actually opened and been regulated, OCM goes in and shuts them down. Okay, so that's another benefit for anybody who doesn't really like sticker shops or these things, you know, going around them. Because you're right, sticker shops operate and they sell whatever, and hopefully it's not bad for you or whatever, but I mean, if they've survived, and you, as you can see, they're pretty much one in every corner, at least in Elmira. And, you know, I know they're growing in Horseheads, even though John said they never would. But they're everywhere. You know, I mean, there's loopholes around everything, but those people are not paying that 13%. In fact, you hope they're paying the 8% sales tax, or even filing income tax returns. But, you know, that's why they're maybe able to compete with each other. But once you get one of these licensed places, and again, think about that taboo. You know, some people would never even go near one of these places. Definitely not a sticker shop. But once it's legal, you know exactly where it's coming from. It's almost like a scientist is helping you pick out the product. You become interested, maybe not even to participate, but just interested in what's going on. And let's be honest, it's medicinally legal in just about every state. So the health benefits, and we won't go into that, but I mean, this is more of a lucrative venture for us. I mean, we're all professionals in the community. We're all lived here for many, many years and are very serious people. So we wouldn't be sitting here in front of you if we weren't.
So.
When he's done, I have something.
I'm done. I talk too much. Please cut me off anytime you want.
Yeah,
This is coming in my neighborhood. I live in this neighborhood. I live across from Bose's. Gotta ask a big question, you guys, and you guys all have to make the decision. One in Ithaca, one in Binghamton. Is this what we want to bring here? He's talking about bringing a boatload of money. I bring it already. I own the AT&T cell tower. Do you know how much taxes that bring in? I sold Maplehurst Mobile Home Park for millions. Do you know how many tax dollars I and my sister brought in myself? So don't listen to this money coming in, money coming in. I'm already bringing it, guys. I'm bringing my share. I think I have something to say. And I gotta ask you guys seriously. Do we want this? Do we want this here? I'm not bringing enough from the darn tower up there. There are 50 homes in Maplehurst. You know how much money that brings into this town? And now you want to put this in? You guys. I own a 300-acre farm. I think I'm doing my share. I think I came tonight to have something to say. And all of you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you. And Greg up there on the thing. Think about this. Think about this. Are we gonna jump for this for the money? I mean, with 300 acres, I'll keep working.
Do you mind if I comment on that?
Yes.
Well, I
And
think we
totally
gotta,
respect what you have to say. But it's here, and do we want it here in a legal, very regulated way, or do we want it in a non-regulated way? It's not going anywhere. It's here. The sticker shops aren't going anywhere unless we put in one that is very regulated and controlled. I have children. I don't want my children going to the sticker stores where who knows what they're cooking up in the back. I don't know. I have no idea. I want something that I've been assured by the state is a quality product that's safe. So I do understand what you're saying.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
yeah, this isn't the public hearing yet, so, you know, I think we've heard the opinions. But I think at the public hearing, you know, when the town board considers this permit, then I think they're gonna have to do a public hearing for that, and that would be the place where we can really, because they're the ones who are ultimately gonna approve this. We're just giving them a recommendation tonight. So, you know, we appreciate your opinion. So I guess does anybody else on the board have anything else to say about the motion?
For the business plan?
Yeah, I brought, how many are you?
I don't think we need that tonight.
If you want a paper copy, I'll give you.
Yeah, well,
That's one, yes.
If there's no more discussion, we have a motion on the floor. And so, Dina, if we call the roll.
Yeah, we have Amy Crandall, Angela.
Yeah,
Hawken,
you look like
If you want,
and
but-
Angela.
I was gonna say, I think
Aye.
I would like to read that, if anything.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so I guess,
nothing.
all right, so we're done with that for tonight. It's now been going back to the town board.
Okay. And
So-
what's the date for that?
That's a week tonight.
A week from tonight. Okay.
You'll let them, I
Yeah,
guess,
I'll
yeah,
let Kathy know. She'll
they'll
put it on the
they'll let you
agenda.
know,
Okay.
they'll let you know about it.
Thank you.
I like business. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so that's all done. Let's see, or when do you guys wanna run out and get John? We have some work that he has. We have some things that he's. So thank you for your input, everybody. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
But, you know, ultimately, it's gonna be the town board that will.
Yeah,
That kind of thing. And then everybody can come and talk about it. The last thing that we're gonna do. The last thing we know we're gonna do tonight is the recommendations for an amendment to the setback. In the 204-4 definition.
That, you guys don't. But we've already included that from the town. Right?
Is there, is that on the agenda for the next
Yeah.
already? Oh,
It's on. Yeah, it's on. And we referred it to the county already. And that's how we're going. So we should, the county should have had. Already.
I don't see anything for the county.
Yeah, when we did it, well, maybe hopefully Kathy did, because we did it at the town board level. Back
I
then.
have to contact them.
When we referred it here, we referred it there.
Okay, I'll have
So
to
check,
check.
okay.
Mr. Chairman? What was the rule? Did we rule ever recommend to the public hearing? Did we did we?
Say
have a
that again,
voting on
please?
that? For your recommendation, are you recommending us to the?
It was a
public hearing?
positive recommendation.
Okay, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Yeah. So I guess the next thing is your.
Yeah, we did, yeah, I did, proposing some definitions for setback. One of the things we looked at before was the setback, the front setback on a road by use. So I'd love to say I wrote this, but I didn't, but I found it. And it seems to work, but I think we need to do setbacks all the way around.
Appreciate it, like.
So I think we need to make sure the setbacks are set, that the front setback is the main one. Because if you remember over on Hickory Grove with the solar over there, the guys said they wanted, we have a 75-foot setback. And they wanted 75 feet from the middle of the road, because their deed on a road by use usually runs from the middle of the road. And of course, we didn't really have a definition that worked. But we told them that seeker is probably going to take up to a year to do, since they won't agree to our 75-foot setback. So they agreed. But this, I think, will cover, so no matter where. Setbacks in a business zone, setbacks in a residential zone, they're different. So I think this refers to that, because the width of the road, although we can argue with it, basically is 50, we do it nominally as a 50-foot wide right of way, so it would be 25 feet to the edge plus the setback from there. So
It's not the edge of the pavement, 25 feet, the roadway is usually typically 12 foot wide. And you've got the shoulder and then anything beyond that, and so you would say 25 feet from the center of the road would be the.
nominal edge of the road, yeah, and then the property line. Usually when the surveyor does the properties, they start with a nominal 50-foot road, so 25 feet from the center. So, but I think it'll work, and I don't think it really would you?
No, and that is kind of the same thing as what we were talking, when we were talking about the solar down on Philo Road too.
Yeah,
It being a user road type of thing, that gives it that extra 25 foot.
So are you looking for us to recommend to the town board that they?
recommend to the town board that they amend the
That they-
zoning ordinance to include these as setback and
Definitions of.
Definitions of 204-4.
So John, would this supersede what's in there now, which is
There's
front
nothing there.
yard? Isn't there front yard or front setback?
The word setback aren't in the definitions. I'm looking at it right now.
so yes.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, we have no definition for setback. But this will give us something, and I think it'll help. It'll help Greg and them also.
So can I get a motion on the floor to recommend an amendment to the the definitions in 204-4, for the definitions of setback
Referral to the town.
To the town.
or referral to
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll make that motion what he said.
Say so moved.
I'll second it.
Okay,
Okay, Cole, no other discussion, you call the roll?
here we have Amy Crandall. Angela Hawken. Ken Castro. Matt Mustico.
Aye.
Al Curran.
Alright,
Joe Atkinson.
Aye.
Just so you know, we don't define setback in the zoning ordinance, but we define what a yard is. So it doesn't change those, but
This is gonna be added to.
yeah, this will be added to it.
So
we don't do it in the,
We don't have any.
you don't do it in the, you don't define that line. In the definitions, but you do farther into the codes when you talk about each
Right,
residence, or whatever like that, type of thing.
yeah,
And the other two items, we have nothing to do tonight on those?
yeah,
Okay. I guess. Motion to adjourn is in order.
She hasn't talked all night.
Do we have a second?
Second it.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's seven.
Aye,
I know.
right? You gonna say no?